Hello and welcome to the Iron Sledge Guide. I will be talking about the pros, cons, basic stats, and all of the really cool ways that you can use the Iron Sledge to great effectiveness. So, first off, Iron Sledge. Kinda weak, right? Especially considering it's the unique sledge that we got all the way until the current end game. You get it in the swamp tier. It's an iron tier weapon. It's got total damage at maximum upgrade quality of 73. The same as a regular one-handed iron tier weapon. This means that the sledge is two-handed and yet has the same damage as a one-handed weapon. Usually this is not the case. However, it compensates by having a ridiculous hitbox. This hitbox not only is a crazy ground pound with a ground AoE, but it's also a just large cylinder. With an AoE that expands in the air across different altitudes, over gaps. Going to bonk these guys here. Has decent stagger. Yeah, very slow, so not good at all in a main weapon scenario. Can parry. I don't recommend doing this at all. Never mind. Just versus fallings. It's just don't do what I'm doing. I'm making a point. It's not very good as a main weapon. Look at me. I'm taking all sorts of unnecessary hits. It's not good. Yeah, as a main weapon, this is terrible. And it's terrible because it's slow. It costs 20 stamina. It's a really, like, that's a ton. Like, this Frostner Bonk costs 12 stamina. This middle mouse, huge impact middle mouse, costs 24. This Iron Sledge Bonk, 20. Look how slow that is. Yeah, it's not that good. Not that good. Now, it does have a ×2 modifier on backstab, so if you sneak up on an enemy, you can get that juicy ×2. ×2 really even isn't that much. It's like, what? It's below standard. Like, standard backstab modifier is ×3. It'll be on like all of your one-handed weapons except for like the knife. It's really not that good at all. Now, the crazy thing about the Iron Sledge and what makes it really good, not only does it have a tall hitbox, but it also has this cool property that lets it go through walls. So that means it's really, really good in scenarios where there's a barrier between your opponent and you. So any type of dungeon, any type of structure you could maybe break apart, very good. Also very loud. I mean, I know these growths have a big, what is it, aggro radius, but still, I mean, I'm just corralling them over here, and they are going to have a field day with these fulling. Yeah, you don't stand a chance, little man. Yeah, it has its really good niche purposes. So in multiplayer, what I just did in destroying this tower would be perfect for any other melee guy to basically just wait and then pick them off as they fell. It is super good way at dealing with squirrely enemies that love to just shoot projectiles at you or love to chill out behind barriers. Really good in the swamp crypts. It's really, really good in the frost caves. Like, really quite something. And it's also really good in any plains buildings. So fulling towers, did a video on that. It's really good. It's also really good against, well, growths here. I want that growth trophy. Come on. Come on. Oh, the Sledge is also really slow. Like, it's got a minus 20% movement speed on it, which is awful. This is just terrible. Come on. Oh boy. This ain't good. Just keep rolling. See, I'm gonna get myself killed doing this. Just to show you that Sledge is not very good, except when you have barriers. Then it becomes good. See, I kited them over to this barrier, and then killed them through the barrier. Yeah. Now, I had to use a potion. I nearly died. You saw how I handled it with the Frostner compared to the Iron Sledge. The Iron Sledge is just a really bad weapon out in a neutral open area. It is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I'd put it in D tier. It's awful. But you have any kind of barrier at all, you know, structures, buildings, walls, even trees, then it becomes amazing. Like S tier, like just cheese territory. It's an absolutely incredible weapon. And because of that, I put it in a cute, I guess, B tier, just to even things out. Even though it has an absurd crafting requirement and upgrade requirement, just an unnecessarily lot of iron and Emir flesh, it is worth making. It is worth making, especially if you're a club main like I am. I love the Frostner and shield combo. It is just so dominant and really cool in multiplayer. There's a lot of other stuff that goes along with the Frostner, but this is not a Frostner video. Utilizing the Sledge in all of its niche ways will grant you a bunch more club levels than you normally would have, making your Frostner even better for the plains, for Yagluth, for what have you. So that's another pro. I will say it's really good as well in the plains if you have multiple Deskitos on you and you're at really weird elevation levels. It's going to be really hard to hit them. It's going to be really annoying. However, because Deskitos have such little HP, you can just give them the good old bonk, killing them both, and then moving on with your day. It's also really good on uneven territory for these rocks here. So if you want to lure enemies over by the rocks, you can hit them relatively low on the rock. What you can also do... Hey, now. None of that. What you can also do is... you can use them on uneven territory in the mountains to deal with wolves that are trying to pathfind their way to you. So it's like, no, these wolves are almost about to get me. I'm on uneven territory or uneven ground. These gross aggro to me, great. Like, oh no, what am I gonna do? You know, at-gear poke is really bad on uneven territory, and so are most other weapons, but not the Iron Sledge because of the verticality. Not the Iron Sledge. Weird growth. Hey, hey, hey. Bad boys. Not allowed. But yeah, it's niche, and it really excels in its niches. One thing that it's really bad at, just in general, is like defense. Like, oh boy, like enemies will still get up to you. Ranged enemies will destroy you. Like those growths, like it's got really bad like parry and block for a two-hander. Just awful. It's the same as a bronze buckler quality 3, but it's an iron tier weapon. And I know that that's the trend, to have two-handed weapons that are able to parry and have decent parry modifiers, but are less than the buckler or parry shield equivalent for one-handers. I understand that's like the balance of the game, but I mean, I want to show you how well something like the black metal accurate can parry. Yeah, I can just parry a Lox and then go to Poketown. The Iron Sledge can do no such thing, except in maybe Swamp, maybe Mountain tier. But yeah, its main thing is keeping enemies away from you. If they are very close to you already, you have lost the main utility of the Sledge. It's gone. Like, gonzo, totally. So, it's... I don't understand, like, it could have basically no block or parry value, and it would be almost no difference at all. It's like, okay, yeah, so it has no block value, okay, fine. Right? Like, who cares? Come here. Yeah, this is just so much slower and so much more stamina intensive than other weapons as a main. Don't do it. Don't do it. That being said, I think it's fine considering it's iron tier. I think it is a must make because of its extremely high utility in those niche scenarios. You will be getting in those niche scenarios. Not only that, but you will be getting into these niche scenarios come Mistlands, because we've already had a teaser for Mistlands Dungeon. And because of that, this is a must make weapon. Now, they can fix it. They can fix the Iron Sledge. But I don't want them to. I think it's fine for its tier. It overperforms in its niche. And the way that I foresee Iron Gate going is just to make a higher tier Sledge, maybe in the Mistlands. But yeah, it seems like what they're doing, or what they've done, is they made a Sledge in the Meadows tier, they made a Sledge in the Iron tier. It would have made sense for there to be a Sledge in the Plains tier, but we didn't get one. So maybe it'll be added in later on. Maybe there'll be a Mistland Sledge like I'm predicting. I think it would look cool with that sort of brass-ish, bronze-ish metal that they've got going on. But oh, come here. Desquito. Be gone. But yeah, it's it is an interesting weapon to be sure. Also, something that kind of bugs me about it is I wish I had a middle mouse. There's no middle mouse on it. So basically, we have like two buttons on this weapon, two moves that could have some sort of use. Like the block could be good. Maybe it'll be good on the bigger tier Sledge. I think that'll be fine in the future. But right now, I don't know, it's not good. It doesn't fit the style, so that's useless. And then also we have the middle mouse, which I'm rapidly clicking right now, and it's not doing anything. Yeah, no middle mouse. But yeah, I would definitely give it some sort of middle mouse. I think it deserves like a sideways bonk, just like a shove, almost like similar sort of utility of the Crystal Battle Axe middle mouse. However, I think it should have a higher knockback, just to like a single target, like get away from me so that I can bonk you from a range, you know. Other than that, best armor for this, I would say Fenris. Fenris plus Root in the plains, just so that you can tank what you really need to. Tank a lot of ranged stuff, because you're going to be keeping enemies at a ranged, and the Root Harness is best for that. I use Fenris also in the head and pants, just so that I can have some sort of better movement speed. I mean, this minus 20% is brutal, so the Fenris armor helps with that. But yeah, I would not, absolutely not use this as a main weapon. But it has its wonderful, wonderful, wonderful niche uses, and I hope you can enjoy these, the Sledge and Sledges in the future. I hope that I will be enjoying them in the future as well, and that they have continued great use. Because right now, it's just a beast in caves, dungeons, towers, buildings, structures, wherever, where there's barriers. You could even set up traps. You could even build with stone or what have you, and then bonk away at enemies through the barriers that you've made. Sort of using the building in advance. And I think that would be pretty cool, although pretty damn unnecessary, considering you could just use a better main weapon, like the Black Metalite Gear or Frostner. But yeah, it's there. It's an option. It's worth mentioning. And with that being said, I'll see you guys some other time. I hope you enjoyed. And the Flesh Ripper's guide will be soon. Take care.